First Business. I am your co-host, Joey Garrity, branding and marketing influencer, with co-host Gina Estrada, financial expert and networking influencer. And we just want to welcome today's guest, Theresa, to the show. Thank you for joining us, Theresa.
Thank you for having me.
So, Gina, I just have a question for you. Why the Prosperity Club, sister?
Well, prosperity is abundant, and setting that right mindset for everyone is so important. But I think we forget along the way. We get so wrapped up in the minutia of our day-to-day activities that it's nice to just take a step back and be a part of something that is focusing on not only our own prosperity, but the prosperity of those around us. And I always say all boats rise. And whenever we're feeding that, we're just circling up in our leveling our business, up leveling our income, and up leveling our personal networks, which is huge because that is like compound interest. Whenever you're adding people to your network, it just grows and grows and grows from there.
I agree. I think that being prosperous is actually being of service to community, right? Because then you can be of service on a higher level. You can make introductions. You can, by growing your network, by growing your influence out there in the marketplace, it opens doors for others to do the same. So Gina and I want to encourage everyone out there to be growing their prosperity and really lean into it. I believe that community sometimes feels that being prosperous or money is a bad thing. And we're trying to say, no, it's a great thing. It's the best thing you can do for community out there. And also too, so we want to introduce the President of Disaster Cleanup Specialist, Theresa Ream. And down below you all, you'll see that we have a link to your website, Theresa. So Theresa, tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, well, I can show you in a picture.
Sure.
Real quick right now. I just got it from my crew going out to a big COVID clean.
And yes, can you just hold it up a little bit? Right there, yes.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's actually a video, and they're playing the Ghostbuster song. So that's how fun it is to be in our business. It's a nonstop helping people, something different every day. And when we leave the job, people love us, and they tell all of their neighbors and their friends exactly what we've done for them. So it's very rewarding.
I love that. Congratulations. Bravo to that, right, Gina? It's just like, just feeling so good about what you do, that just brings in more prosperity, right?
Yes.
And it's amazing that, people are in crisis and chaos when they have a need for Theresa's business. But yet when Theresa's done with them, they are like loving her company and saying great things about her. And she just has that built-in support for her business going forward. One satisfied client turns into a lot of satisfied clients. And I will say, when I met Theresa, she became the president of the Monterey Peninsula Women's Network. And I didn't know her before. She just stepped in as president, and just because she had the past experience there, literally, she came out of nowhere.
I did.
And once I got to know her, I thought, this is the perfect person that we needed in the president position at the time. And I quickly recognized one of her superpowers is that she knows how to put the right people in the right chairs.
That's beautiful. Yeah, congratulations. You wear a lot of hats, but a lot of really great hats, Theresa. So fantastic.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what it's like to be the president, because I know with leadership comes a lot of responsibility, which Gina and I know very well. What is it like?
Well, it's a different type of responsibility if you set your hierarchy up properly in your company. You shouldn't have a lot of day-to-day responsibilities, but you do have to make it a place that's fun and exciting for your employees, and where they have upward or sideways mobility. If they don't like one position, they can move to another and another, or up and back. And you have to create that. So it's getting up early in the morning and planning that out, and who are you going to be training. It's my day consists of either I'm training somebody or someone's training me.
Wow.
Yes, even the leaders have to be trained almost twice as much as the employees,
If
really.
you're not being trained, there's something going on there that's just not right. Yes.
It's so true. It's absolutely so true. 'Cause typically, leaders are seekers, and we love to constantly be educating ourselves, right?
Right.
So, part of the Prosperity Club is we bring a lot of value where we're constantly bringing in more education, more resources, more ways of looking at prosperity in your business in different ways. I want to roll your tip, Theresa, and your tip is update your homeowners and renters policy for coverage and exclusions.
Right.
Let's talk about that.
Sure.
That's a
Uh,
good one.
the big problem is we go on a claim and they don't have the right coverage, or they don't have they didn't see the exclusions in their policy. They're looking at what they're getting, but not what they're not getting, and that includes earthquakes, certain types of water damages being from maybe groundwater, rodent damage. And they need to get add-on endorsements for this. So they should be checking their policy yearly and going over and asking their agent those questions. They also need to add large purchases of artwork, expensive items, jewelry, artwork, ongoing to that is by taking a picture and sending it over to their agent. And they should just go through their house every year with their video camera and just open drawers, just take a picture of everything and a video of everything. And that way, if you do have a large loss and you end up losing a lot of things in the fire, you can easily be reimbursed for them.
Wow. That is a
Great
great tip.
tip.
Great tip.
Yeah, awesome tips.
So take pictures of everything. That way you just have in your files, it's up in iCloud and something happens and it's there.
Yes.
Yeah,
It's
that's
so important
fantastic.
because you can just leave thousands and thousands of dollars on the table.
Absolutely.
It's funny, my husband and I do that already. And the other day we were sitting in our bedroom in our recliners and he was looking through all the pictures and he goes, whatever happened to that picture? Because I don't remember seeing it when we moved. And so he's like thinking where it is. And then we came in here and we have a partner's desk. So there's a chair across from me here. And then he looks over my head and he goes, oh, that's the picture I was looking for. It's so funny. He'd been literally staring at it for months and months, but couldn't remember.
That is so funny. That is so funny.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic tip to remind people that we have value and everything that we've been accumulating has value too. So just being on top of all that could just save you so much time and energy
Yes.
and get reimbursed for what you deserve, right? I think that's fantastic. It's such a good
Yes.
tip.
Absolutely. And
Great.
for theft too. If you have a theft also, and a lot of us don't keep track of all of our things. So you can really see what you're missing if that happens.
Well, I want to roll into your definition of prosperity, having enough money to do the things that make me happy, being healthy, and having my loved ones near me. Isn't that the truth?
Yes.
That pretty much sums it up. I mean, none of us, I don't ever say, oh, you know what, I want to be really rich and have a lot of money. No, I'm looking at having fun. I wanted the money as a vehicle to get the things that I enjoy and to do the things I enjoy and to help the people that I love.
I love that. Right, Gina? Isn't that so true?
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing better than I always say my definition of success is to do what I want, when I want, with whom I want, and how I want.
Mm-hmm.
And in living my life that way, business happens.
Right.
Yes, it
Yes.
does. And I think getting back to what's really a priority, it's health and loved ones.
Mm-hmm.
Without
Yes.
that, none of it matters. It doesn't matter. It's just, and I know with
Right.
everything going on right now, I believe that that's really coming to the surface for everyone rather than people getting all caught up in, I think prosperity, again, is to be community driven and to be able to serve community by opening doors through the financial influence itself. And all of us could be of service to each other. And life is so much more fun that way.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Yes. And that's why we formed the Prosperity Club, so everyone can come together and learn and grow and share and be a part of a community that stands for positiveness and mindset and moving forward and influence and prosperity. It's great. And in doing that, we're all growing our personal networks. And you know what they say, you know, the larger network, the higher the income. I know, Joey, you shared in one of our trainings last week that your influence is directly tied to your income.
Yes, it is. Absolutely. And that way you don't have to work. Like then the community can be singing your song along with you, and we could all be singing with one another, which I love. Theresa, fun fact about you, you like to travel with large groups of friends. Let's talk about that. I was just like, have you been on cruises? I've never been on a cruise. Can you believe that? Not one
Oh,
time.
no. You have
No
to
one's
come
ever
with our
invited me
large
to go
group
on
of
a
friends.
cruise.
Well, we've been on many cruises with friends. It seems like we like to go to Alaska a lot. It's just we always find different things to do up there, whether kayaking in a big glacier bay, all bundled up so you don't want to tip over because you don't know how you're going to swim, and going down to Mexico. We go down to Cabo 2 weeks a year with last year we went with 25 people. And
sign me up for that trip, Theresa. I'll sign up for the Cabo trip.
Okay, yes. And so we go there for 2 weeks, October. That's our kind of wedding anniversary. We go every year. And then we've been to the Bahamas, the Caribbean, taking cruises out of New Orleans. That's a really fun one. And it's just a lot of fun traveling with a group. Like when we're in Cabo, we can go over to each other's timeshares and we cook and have lively conversation and play really dumb games. And it just makes it way more special. And laying around the pool all day, you know, with everybody, it's just a really nice thing.
I love that. That's great. Absolutely. It is more fun to do things together. Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. Theresa, is there anything else you'd like to share with us in regards to like how you're showing up for community and how that's really translating out there? I just think it's such an important message right now.
Well, it first started out as showing up for a community by accepting being the president of the Professional Women's Network. I was president 2 years prior. And so I knew what I was doing, and I just went to sign back up my membership, and they said, we need a president. And I was like, oh. And so that really started getting me out more out of my zone of just working and family and working out type of things, those three things. So it kind of threw me back in again, and that brings a lot of different people and opportunities to your door. One of the main things I'm working on now, and I just mulling it over, and I know it's going to come to me, but I need to change how PWN is run. You're going to be a guest next Thursday with our Zoom, so we have to do a lot of things on Zoom. But what does that look like? Translating that over. So that's a big goal of mine. It's one of my top goals that I'm working on this month is doing that. Repositioning somehow. I know it's out there. I just can't grasp it right now of how that's supposed to look like.
I think that's so beautiful, right? Is that you're bringing again, Prosperity Club is about bringing more and more value, and that's what you're doing. Bringing on speakers, looking at things with different eyes and perspectives. You never know when that aha moment is going to come around. I know I've had so many of them, and I'm like, just because I saw a speaker or Gina shared a tip, and all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, it's just because we think that it's easy doesn't mean that everyone else knows how to do things, right?
Yes, correct. And one of my big sayings is, what does this look like? Everything I do, what does this look like if it was easy? Because so often we make this big, complicated process out of things instead of just stepping back and going, what would it look like if it was easy? And that comes from Tim Ferriss, one of my favorite all-time authors of the 4-Hour Workweek and Tribe of Mentors, other books. But it's just, I use that daily. And I make things like you mentioned. How do we be at ease? And that is one way to really throw yourself back into how we be at ease.
Oh, that's beautiful. Gina, any shares, anything that you'd like to share with us?
Well, I think because this is an interesting time and we're all shutting in. And I wanted to point out, Theresa is really showing up for community in her business as well. She didn't mention that her company is offering hazmat cleanup to the cars of the people that are on our front lines right now, our nurses, our doctors, our firefighters, our EMTs. And so she has an established place and time in her big parking lot where they can come and get a free total car wash, hazmat style, so that they can be safe in their cars as well. And I think that's
incredible.
So awesome. Yeah. Yeah. You know, but I have 2 kids in Fresno that are first responders, and I wish somebody over there was doing something like that for them. That would be great. But
yes. Yeah. We'll have to open up a division up here in Fresno.
Exactly. Yeah, Theresa and I have something in common. We both go between Monterey and the Central Valley.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, we're kindred spirits on that level. It's so nice. When I found Gina, it's like, oh my gosh, that is so cool. But we're flipped. Her second home is in Monterey, and my second home is in Clovis. So
yeah, it's kind of funny. But I do want to say, you know, with the Prosperity Club, it has just elevated not only my personal networking process and game and how I show up online, and being able to do it with you, Joey, as a partner in this. We just have these great strategy sessions where we come up with ideas that serve our membership. And when we serve our membership, things come back tenfold. It's the old adage of givers gain, and the more you give, the more you receive. And at this time, we've been giving a lot of extra trainings in our Prosperity Club because we know everybody's at home, and why not spend the time wisely and learn something new that's going to propel your business when we're back and going full throttle again.
And you know, Gina, you bring up such a great point. It's like right now, it's so easy to make everything about what's happening. And then it can become very internal, like the fear factors and, you know, all these kind of anxious worries, which takes up a lot of capacity, right? But when you are doing for others, like Theresa, what you're doing, and like showing up for the members and really being there, it's like, I feel like my heart expands.
For sure.
And when my heart expands, my vibrations go up. And when my vibrations go up, then the anxiety and the worry and everything, it gets less about Joey, and the fear factor. And it gets more about how else, like, what else can we do? How else can we show up? Let's show up bigger, right?
Yes, it's an expansion. It's an age-old principle of the giving, and you get back more than you give. But it's also an expansion. It's expansion outward, but it's also an internal expansion.
Yes.
That you get.
I want to encourage everyone out there to do this right now.
Yeah. I think, you know, you have a choice of whether you're going to stay stagnant or you're going to grow. And when I went through being very, very sick about 3 years ago, I experienced post-traumatic growth from that experience. And I think we're going to see a lot of that, where people took this time where we're sheltering in place or whatever it's called where you are. And if you're growing, you're going to have that growth spurt that's going to propel you, and it just sticks with you. And then it makes you different, and you start showing up in that marketplace different, and people start noticing that what is going on? Like, something's different. And then they're attracted to that. So the more we grow during this time, the more it's going to pay off in the future.
Yes, this is a great opportunity, the shelter in. It's a great time to grow. I'm like a sponge. I'm soaking up everything right now, and it's a really good time to do that. And that's what the energy is pretty much calling for right now.
Mm-hmm. And that's a sign of a great leader.
It is. I want to thank you, Theresa, for coming on and spending some time with us today and sharing your wisdom with all of us. I also want to thank you for being so generous. Like, your generosity spirit is contagious. It is. It's very exciting to be around you. You have a very ease about you, but you're also very, your vibrations are very high. I could tell that last time you were on the on the bonus session with us, I was like, oh, I feel better. Right? And that's what
Thank
it's
you.
like.
That
It's
made my day.
being around Gina. It's just like there is
Yes.
something very contagious about that in the best of ways. And that's how our hearts expand. And that's how our businesses soar higher and higher out there. Gina Estrada, thank you like forever, like again, for saying yes. And I know carving out some time out of your busy schedule as well. And thank you everyone out there for joining us today. Do what you do best and share it out, spread the love, get to know Theresa's influencer, get to know Gina influencer, get to know me if you don't know me, get to know the Prosperity Club. We'd love to have you. And until next time, cheers to prosperity and sending everyone a lot of love. Ciao, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.